Well, how's it going, guys? Joe McCall here, and this is day 2 of the series of videos that I'm doing talking about how to flip rural vacant land. And it's my new favorite strategy. Well, I've been doing it for a few years now. We've done tons and tons of deals. And like I was saying in day number 1 video, this is a business that I did with my teenage sons, actually. And we flipped a lot of vacant land. We made over $150,000 in gross profits doing this very, very, very part-time, flipping small rural vacant land in about 4 or 5 different states. And so, I'm still doing houses. We're still investing in real estate the traditional way. But this is a strategy I heard a long time ago about as I was interviewing people on my podcast. And I thought, man, that sounds really cool. I wanted a business that I could do with my sons. And at the time when they got started, they were, 14, 15, 16 years old. And I knew they didn't have the maturity level. Well, I mean, I'm probably cutting them short, but I didn't feel like I could help them or train them on how to talk to sellers and negotiate with sellers on deals. And I didn't want to hire VAs and virtual assistants to do it. So I thought, man, I'm going to train my kids how to do this. So I trained my 2 boys how to pull lists, how to send marketing, and then how to send offer, like how to analyze a vacant lot and see what other lots are selling for, how to send offers at 20 to 25 cents on the dollar, and then do all of that, and then do a bunch of follow-up and make sure the CRM is doing all the follow-up. And so at that point, we get 1 out of every 15, let's say, offers accepted. I'm not making any guarantees or nothing here. But so we started flipping a bunch of vacant land. And then I pretty much outsourced everything else. I was working with my sons on the acquisition side of things. And they're doing about 90% of that. And then I partnered with a friend to do the disposition side of things, the selling of the properties once we get them under contract. And we use title companies, a national title company. We don't self-close any of our deals, so it's super easy. And then we sometimes use local realtors in those areas to sell these lots for us. So on just an example deal, let's say a 2-acre lot in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, is worth $10,000. We're going to send them an offer for $2,500. So 25% of if it's worth 10 grand, we're going to send them an offer for 2,500, and then we're going to sell it for cash, either one of 2 ways. We're going to sell it for cash for $7,500. And what's the profit there? 5 grand, quick $5,000. And if we're going to sell it with owner financing, we're going to sell it for 10 grand with owner financing, usually, 9% interest over 5 years. And we make $150 a month, maybe $200 a month in cash flow from that. So we get our money back. If we sell it with owner financing, the goal is to get your money back in a year or less, to get 100% cash on cash return in the first year. And we're doing these deals constantly left and right. So anyway, I created a class that teaches you all about this, all of the steps, step by step. And if you can get the class for free at simplelandclass.com. And when you go there, you're actually going to get a mind map that I'm going to be walking through, teaching you how to do all of this stuff. And this mind map covers all of the steps from researching and picking a market, which is what we did last time. And we picked a county. We picked Putnam County, Florida. Now, today, I'm going to show you how to pull a list of motivated vacant land owners, people that they don't want this land anymore. They're done with it. And then in future videos, I'm going to show you how to set up your voicemail systems, how to send letters, how to handle incoming leads and send offers and do the properties. To advertise the properties and stuff. So this, in my opinion, is one of the easiest ways to do deals in this crazy market right now. And who would say, yeah, we're not in a crazy market, but even in the kind of, if we were coming into a recession or whenever you're listening to this, I've been finding that these deals are easier to do than house deals for a lot of reasons, a lot less competition, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So again, go to simplelandclass.com, and I'm going to go through this mind map here in just a second. You can get the mind map for free by going to this simplelandclass.com. So yesterday was step number 1, we pick a market. Today, we're going to be talking about step 2. How do you get a list of these vacant land owners? And to future episodes, we're going to be talking about step 3, setting up your voicemail systems. Step 4, sending letters. Step 5, sending offers. Step 6, reviewing accepted offers. And have you noticed, nowhere in here yet have we said anything about talking to sellers? Okay. We don't talk to the sellers until after they get our offer. This is why I can guarantee, if you do the work, 10K in 10 hours. $10,000 a month working 10 hours a week. It's not that hard. This is not a business that forces you to lose your nights and weekends. I don't want to give you another full-time job. You can do this full-time if you want, make a lot more money, or you can just do this on the side and outsource a bunch of it. 99% of it you can outsource if you know how to do it right. All right. And then the final step is flipping the deal. So you buy it and then you sell it. And we're not talking about big, expensive properties either. We're not talking about land that we're going to develop. We're looking for recreational, rural land way out in the sticks. We're buying for a couple $1,000 and we're selling for a $5,000 to $10,000 profit. It's a brilliant model. I love it. All right. So you're ready to get into step number 2, getting a list of vacant landowners. Let me share my screen again here. This is the mind map. And let me remove the banner here. And by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, I'd appreciate just giving me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, and I appreciate that. All right, so now we're going to pull a list. And I use a tool called Priced, and you can get the special deal that I've got set up with them at landlist.us, landlist.us, and there's a special link for that in the YouTube video down below. But what they do is they pull the list, the data from Data Tree. But the thing that Priced does that nobody else does is they actually give you comps. They go out and they scrape active and sold comps from websites like Zillow, LandWatch, Lands of America, Realtor.com, and others. Now, why is that important? Because they're going to give us who the owners are. And I'm going to show you how to do this in just a second. I'm going to pull a list from my county and Putnam County. But they're going to show me, all right, so the average property in this area between 1 to 2 acres will sell for this. The average property for 2 to 3 acres will sell for this. So they take out a ton of the guesswork. And this is why I could have my sons do this. They took the data that we got from Priced, and then they helped, that got them started with making an offer. There's a few other little things we're going to do. We're just going to confirm the numbers at Zillow or Lands of America or something like that. But this is very, very, the whole intent of creating this was to make it as automated as possible so as my teenage sons could do this. And so our strategy is unique. We're not the only ones who do land or teach land. There's a lot of good, really good courses and programs out there. But my strategy is just a little different than most anyone else's because we do a lot of marketing. We get a lot of leads. We send them offers, and then we do a lot of follow-up. So we get probably 40% of our deals from the follow-up. So we don't like to send blank offers out to thousands of people. We send neutral letters where we get as many calls. And we'll talk about that in day 3 or 4. Okay. So anyway, the criteria that we're going into Price to get is 1 to 2 acres. They don't live in the county and they've owned it for over 10 years. You understand? Let me zoom in to make sure you can see this. Super important. We are not spraying and praying. Okay. And you may think, well, is there really that much land out there? Yes, there is tons and tons of vacant land. You might be worried about competition. I'm telling you, I just shake my head every time I hear somebody worrying about competition. I had students that I've coached that go into the same markets that I'm in, and they get deals that I don't. It just happens. So you never know when you're going to get the seller at the right time. So in Priced, again, we're going to looking for 1 to 10 acres. They don't live in that county, and they've owned it for 10 years. So the tool I use, again, is at landlist.us, landlist.us. That'll get you my special deal with Priced, okay? And when you go there, you're going to go to a site that looks like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in Putnam County right here. I'm going to do 1 to 10 acres. Sometimes I'll do 20 acres. In fact, let me just put that in here. I'm going to do 20 acres, acre increment. Let's do 2 acres. Okay, 2 acre increment. And you'll see what that kind of does and means in a minute here. This tells you pricing characteristics. We're going to price it with all comps. You can apply more weight to the active for sale or more weight to the solds. I just leave it right there in the middle. These things here, they select all of the different, what do you call them? Categories that the county websites or Data Tree, which is one of the first or second largest data providers out there, how they categorize this land. All right. And then you do owner filters. And right here in county owner, you want to do exclude in county. And what that means is it's going to exclude anybody who actually lives in that county because you don't want to send mail to somebody that owns a vacant lot next to their house because their chances of them selling that is very, very slim. So we want to exclude in county. And the only other thing we want to do is we want to put a sale date before 10 years ago. Now, why? Why do we do that? Well, because we don't want to send a letter to somebody that just bought their vacant lot 6 months ago, or maybe just bought it 5 years ago. We buy tons and tons of vacant land from maybe somebody that had a death in the family or husband died, and the family just found out that they owned this land. They had no idea that he bought it, but he bought it 30, 40, 50 years ago. They just want to get rid of it. They just want it. They're just sick of it and tired of it. And get this question a lot. Why would anybody want to sell their land for so cheap? I don't know. It's just the way it is. Why would somebody, spend $2,000 on a treadmill and then 2 years later sell it in a garage sale for $25? Because they're sick of it. Every time they walk by it, it reminds them of how out of shape and fat they are. All it does is collect laundry. It makes their wife mad at them for buying it in the first place. So they just want to get rid of it. They're sick of it. They're tired of it, and they don't care anymore. So that's why people sell houses at a huge discount. That's why people sell vacant land at a huge discount. And guess what, guys? There is tons and tons of vacant land out there. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now we're going to click search right here. And price does their magic here. They kind of roll around their rainbow colors or something. And then we'll see here what we get. All right, there are 4,181 data tree owner records. They're pulling the data from data tree. And you can see something here that's interesting. It breaks out the parcels by 2 acres. Remember I did that 2 acre increment? So you can see here, it's telling me the 17 to 19 acres, their price offer per acre. If I set it at 25%, and this is where I can adjust it. So I like to adjust it down to 20%. We're coming into a recession. I'm just being a little more conservative. But now if I adjust this down to 20%, this is giving me the offer price that I should offer. And then the market price is what I should advertise it for. So again, we're buying small, cheap, rural, recreational, vacant land for 20 cents on the dollar. That's what our goal is. And then we're selling it to somebody who wants to go camping, build a cabin in the woods or whatever later on at still a significant discount. This is wholesaling 101 if you're familiar with wholesaling in real estate, but we're wholesaling vacant rural land. Okay. You scroll down, you can see like 9 to 11 acres. There's 104 records and 105 comps. If I scroll down again, let me go to page 2 here. Most of them are going to be 1 to 2 acres. So we have 1 to 3 acres here. There's 3,500 of the 41 or 4,200 records are between 1 to 3 acres. So that's all right. That's good. Now, one thing you can do is let's just go back here. Let me go to the previous page. Let's just look at this 9 to 11 acres. If I check that box there and I go right here to for sale and sold comps, this is a powerful thing. Price goes out and scrapes all of the land properties, which many times are not on the MLS, on Lands of America, Redfin, Realtor.com, Zillow, and they'll scrape actives and solds and then give you the average price per acre. This is the real beautiful thing about this. Now, some people maybe have tried something like price before and they complain that, well, the values are too high. That's okay. Because, why am I saying that's okay? Because I can adjust right here my offer price amount. So I'm adjusting it from the normal 25% down to 20%, adjust it down to 15% if you want. But anytime a seller responds and leaves a voicemail, then we're going to look up to see what price says we should offer, and then look real quick and verify that number with what we see actively listed on, let's say, Zillow or Lands of America, and then we go with that. All right, so I'm going to select all of these. And this is I explained this yesterday, but this is something I'm actually doing this live. I'm going to be pulling this list. I'm going to be sending marketing to them, and I'm going to be reporting back to you the results. And I'm going to document this process all the way through till actually doing a deal. So you get to see all of this, but I'm pulling the list right now, and there's 4,100 acres. It's going to cost me about $300. I get a discount because of some, it's complicated. I won't explain that, but I'm going to pause my screen share real quick because I don't want to show you my credit card information, but I'm going to click on continue. Oh, let me do, I do need to share this here. So check this out. All right, here we go. You can scrub field names if you want. I'm just going to click continue again here. And then you can scrub some custom scrub filters. I want to remove church owners, government owners. I'm going to remove the same zip code as the parcel. And that's pretty much it. Going to click continue again. All right, now I'm going to generate a campaign map. And this is really, really cool. And what this does, just real quick, is it's going to, you remember all these comps that it's giving us? It's going to give us what's called a KML file or a campaign map. And then in there, we can open up that KML file in Google Earth. And Google Earth will show us the entire county, all the records that we pulled, and will show us the data that we got and all of the active and the sold comps in Google Earth. So it's really amazing because when you can zoom into your property and see all of the comps with pins on all of the parcels around yours. Anyway, so you can generate a campaign map. There's a video here you can watch. It shows you how to do that. I'm going to remove duplicate owners because I don't want to mail. If one guy owns 5 lots, I don't want to mail them all here. So I'm going to click checkout here and just pause my screen share while I do this because I need to put in my, I actually do this with PayPal. And my assistant doesn't like it when I do that because it's confusing to things. But anyway, my bookkeeper doesn't like it. Don't tell her I'm doing this, but I do it through PayPal. She fixes it later. All right. It's going through here and it's accepting my payment. And then I click complete purchase. When you're buying the lists here through Price, that's also about 8 cents a record. So there is a monthly or an annual fee with Price. And then we get it here. Okay, cool. Let me share my screen again. Hold on here. Boom. All right. How was your experience? My experience was great. And they're going to email me the data. So I'm going to go look for my email right now, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. I got so many buttons here. I just go to my email, and they mail you a zip file. It takes a minute, but in that zipped file is going to have all the data that you need. And I'm going to show you here in just a quick second how to kind of work that spreadsheet a little bit and how we actually get that list ready to mail. So let me just refresh my screen here and I'll show you what the email looks like here in just a second. We will edit this video later to take out the pauses. PRYCD. Again, this is raw. Like I'm doing this really for a real marketing campaign as we go along. And so you're going to see us warts and all as we do this. Now this list cost me, well, I don't know how much it cost me yet, $400 or something, but I'm getting a big list. And because it's such a big list, it's taking its time. Here we go. All right. I'm going to share my screen with you right now. Okay. Here's the email I got for Putnam County. And the initial record count was 4,100, but because I removed duplicate owners, churches, government properties and stuff, the final record count was 2,900. So I'm only paying for 2,900, but it's going to credit me the extra things that I bought, but I didn't get. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I'm going to download this right now. And then I'm going to upload it into Google Drive. This is something that I do with every time I go into a new county. I'm going to Dream Big Land. Here we go. So I have a folder in Google Drive, and this is a new county for us. I'm going to create a new folder for it. Putnam County, Florida. I spelled that right? Yeah, here we go. All right, now I'm going to take that zip file, drag and drop it here into my Google Drive folder. All right, I'm going to double click on it. You know what? I need to unzip it first here. Hold on. I'm unzipping it in my computer. Then I'm dragging and dropping it and uploading it here into Google Drive. I'm going to delete that. All right, now I'm going to change the name of this real quick so I know what it is that I'm downloading. So this is Putnam County, Florida, 1 to 20 acres. Yep, priced data. Boom. It's really important you always kind of name your stuff, so when you're looking at it in a month or two, you kind of realize, oh yeah, that's what it was. So I'm going to open this folder up, and here is that KML file I was just telling you about. I hope you can, it's I'll zoom in a little bit, but like that KML file is a file that you can open up in Google Earth, and Google Earth will show you all of the pins where everything is. All right, so I'm going to just rename this real quick for the data. Okay, and I'm going to right click. I'm going to open with Google Sheets. And so now what I have here, and I'm going to do a few little things here with this Google Sheet. I've got a bunch of information in here. All right, I'm going to pretty this up a little bit. And I like to do filter, add a filter there. I'm going to highlight everything, double click the columns. Oops. Now I always tell people, listen, don't think that you have to become the spreadsheet king or queen. You do not have to understand spreadsheets. Everything I'm doing here, I'm probably going through it pretty fast. Don't worry about knowing how to do it. You can always hire somebody on Fiverr to do the spreadsheet stuff for you for like $5, $10 or something like that. All right, I got to hustle. My wife is texting me. What are the things that we're going to need from this list? All right, we're going to need the seller mailing name there. I'm going to scroll over to the right. We need the mailing address where they actually live. Okay, scroll over some more. Oh, the APN number. This is like the code for the property. That's real important to have. Scrolling over, here is, we need the lot acreage because we're going to send them a letter that says, hey, Mr. whatever their name was, I'm interested in maybe buying your 18.49 acre lot in Putnam County, Florida. If you're interested in selling it, please text or call our 24-hour recorded voicemail. Okay. So keep on scrolling over here to the right. That's the property address. And then here, oops, here are the GPS. Let me resize this column here because it's way too big. Okay. Here are the GPS coordinates, the latitude and the longitudes. And what I like to do, because this helps you find the property later on. Okay, so I'm going to type in GPS coordinates. So I can look in Google Earth or Google Maps, right? So I do this little formula to kind of merge all of those. Boom. So now I have GPS coordinates in one cell. I'm going to copy that form column, paste special values only. All right. So we're going to need those GPS coordinates. Let me give you an example of what I mean. So if I just copy those GPS coordinates, open a new tab in my browser, paste that, click the map that Google gives me, and it gives me a pin for exactly that parcel right there where it is. And from here, I can kind of zoom out to get an idea. Okay, it's near this campground, near this lake. Pretty cool. All right, I can go to satellite view, see what it's like. What was that thing? Okay, I thought it said something else there. You can kind of see the property. You can see if it has road access or not, right? You can drag the yellow dude to see if there is any street view. And I click there, it takes me there. So that property I just pulled up is right here. That's why I like getting those GPS coordinates like that, okay? We're going to put a legal description in the actual offer when we send it, so that's important. I'm going to scoot over some more to the right. It gives me the county assessed values, property taxes. That kind of helps me a little bit to see, you know, what taxes are owed on the properties. And here we go. Price is telling me for these 18, 20 acre, whatever they are, I should offer $20,184 and sell it for $100,000. Now, as I'm looking at this property, I may realize, oh, that's way too high. That's way too low. So I can adjust it later on. But these are the two important numbers that price gives me based on the comps. based on the actives and the solds that they have found on Zillow and Redfin and Realtor.com and all of them and Lands of America. The average price per acre, if I'm offering 20%, I should be offering 20,429 for this lot and sell it for 102. It's going to get you in the ballpark. Okay. That's it. That's my list. Oh, I'm going to do one or two. I'm going to do three things here really, really quick. In my letters, when I send my letters, I tell the sellers, hey, call this text or call this 24-hour recorded voicemail and give me the letter reference ID that is in the letter. So I need the letter reference ID number here. And I also need the Freedom Soft phone number, and I want to track the date mailed. All right, so I'm going to later on, well, in fact, let's just do this right now. Let me move this here, and I'm going to do, this is Putnam, right? Putn 1750. I'm going to just right click on the little right click there corner, and it brings me, so every record in here has a unique reference ID number. This is important because when I send the letter or the postcard, it's going to have that reference ID. And when they call, leave a voicemail, the voicemail says, hey, thanks for calling. Please give me the reference ID in the letter. And then they give that to me. And I also text it to them and ask them for the reference ID and their email address. It all happens automatically. Then my sons can go in, find that letter reference ID, and get all of the data on that property, the name of the owner, the address of the owner, the address of the property, the GPS coordinates, the APN number, the acreage, the taxes, the legal descriptions, all of that stuff. And that helps us really quickly and easily come up with our offers. Okay. So that's it for now, guys. That is how you get a list. It's really, really simple. You can have a virtual assistant. What do my students do when they go get my course or whatever? They just give VAs these videos that I'm doing and say, hey, please go do this for my next campaign. Sometimes even this is one of the cool things, and you'll learn about this when you go to I can't point to this thing, simplelandclass.com. I'm going to show you how we can do this for you. What? Yeah, simplelandclass.com. I have a program that teaches you how to do this for yourself, but in there is also an offer where we can do your direct mail, pull your list, do your mail marketing, set up Freedom Soft and everything like that. We can do it for you. It's amazing. And one more cool thing, I'm going to let a little cat out of the bag here. We will refund your money on the course after you go through it. And why do we do that? Well, go check it out, simplelandclass.com. It's really cool. You'll learn a lot from just watching the class here, whether you decide that you want to work with me or not. Go to simplelandclass.com. Check it out. Now, the next video, we're going to show you real quick, step 3, how to set up the voicemail system. Because when we have the list now, we want to make sure when we send the letters out, they can text or call our voicemail system, and then we can quickly and easily have your 13-year-old daughter send them an offer. Does that make sense? All right. Appreciate you guys. Go check out simplelandclass.com. We'll see you. Bye-bye.